When zinc dust is added to sufficiently large volume of aqueous copper sulfate solution, 3.175 gram of copper metal and 20 joules of heat is evolved. Delta H for the reaction is. So you are given here 3.175 gram copper. It releases an energy 20 joule. Now the equation contains 1 mole of copper. So 1 mole of copper means 63.5 grams. So the energy released will be 20 by 3.175 into 63.5. That gives you 400 joules of energy. Delta HF0 for H2O2 and H2O are minus 188 and minus 280 kilojoules per mole respectively. Delta H for the reaction 2H2O2 gives 2H2O plus O2 is. Now two equations are given you. First is the enthalpy of formation of hydrogen peroxide. Second, enthalpy of formation of water. Hydrogen peroxide enthalpy can be written as H2 plus O2 gives H2O2. Enthalpy is minus 188. Second equation is H2 plus half O2 gives H2O. Then enthalpy for this process is minus 280 kilojoules. Here we require 2 moles of H2O2 as the reactant. 2 moles of H2O2 as the reactant. So H2O2 here is the product. So you have to reverse this equation 1. So this is equation 1. This is equation 2. So equation 1 has to be reversed and multiplied by 2. You will get the answer. On reversing, minus 188 becomes plus 188. On multiplication by 2, it becomes plus 376. Then, as product, you require 2 moles of water. So here you have 1 mole of water only. So equation 2 also has to be multiplied by 2. But you need not reverse it. So this will be equal to minus 560. On adding, you will get minus 184 kilojoules. A. Which of the following is or false? Temperature is a state function. State functions are functions which depends on the initial state and final state. Other is called as the path function. Only 2 path functions you are studying. 3 path functions. One is heat, another is work, and third is heat capacity. All other properties are state functions. So temperature is a state function is a true statement. Absolute value of U can be measured. You can measure only the absolute value of entropy, enthalpy, internal energy, free energy. You can measure only the delta value. Absolute value cannot be measured. So this statement is false. Entropy of all perfectly crystalline solids is 0 at absolute 0. So this is the third law of thermodynamics, which is a true statement. Delta U is measured using a bomb calorimeter. This also is true. So the false statement is B. Absolute value of internal energy can be measured is a false statement. 1500 joules of heat is added to the system and the system does a work equivalent to 2500 joules by expanding against the surrounding atmosphere. The value of delta U will be, here Q is equal to plus 1500 joules because it is added to the system, and work done is expansion against the surrounding. So work is done by the system. So this is minus 2500 joules, and we have delta U is equal to Q plus W, that is equal to 1500 plus minus 2500. So that gives you a value of minus 1000 joules. In a flask, colorless N2O4 is in equilibrium with brown colored NO2. When the flask is heated, brown color deepened, became colorless on cooling. Then, now the compounds in equilibrium are N2O4, which is in equilibrium with NO2. This compound is colorless and this compound is brown in color. It is given that when the flask is heated to 100 degrees Celsius, the brown color deepened. That is, on heating, the equilibrium is shifting in this direction, and on cooling, this is going in this direction. So, according to Le Chatelier's principle, high temperature favor an endothermic reaction. High temperature, it favors endothermic reaction. So the forward reaction is endothermic, and delta H for this process will be positive, that is D.